features like that. The engagement metrics of what people do get loaded directly back into iMIS. That is done in an iMIS multi-instance user demographic. So you could be able to go to Randy Richter's record, and you could look on the, you'll see a tab, and you'll be able to look at that tab and see what Randy has opened and clicked through, and all those different types of engagement management metrics. You can report on those through IQA as well then, or if you want to report and say how many of my members are doing things and opening emails, and what's the percentage rate of members versus non-members, or people in California versus Colorado versus Georgia, you'll be able to do that all through standard IQA queries, because all this data is going into standard iMIS tables. Installation is really pretty easy. This will be going on the same server typically as your iMIS application server. Through secure connections, it can be locked down and should be locked down so that only the Real Magnet system can connect back and forth to it. And that's really the basis of the technology background of this. There's a user's manual for the configuration, and it is a very straightforward, using basic iMIS concepts to have it set up.
All right. Thank you, Randy. And again, my apologies, everyone. It looks like I've had some network issues on my computer here. So with that said, we're going to let Kim go ahead and take over and really show you the power of Real Magnet and an alternative email marketing solution out there. Kim, you want to go ahead?
Sure. Thank you guys so much. And thanks for being partners with Real Magnet on this iMIS integration, and for offering us the chance to share this announcement and a few of the details with your clients. And to all of you out there, again, thanks so much for being here. I have been with Real Magnet since August, and I've brought on about half a dozen or so iMIS customers into this integration, and so far they've all been very impressed with the installation process, with the support that they're getting from both sides, and with the data that this bridge allows us to bring from Real Magnet into that iMIS member record. It seems to be a big improvement over what they had been experiencing with their previous iMIS integrated partner. As Ben mentioned, my name is Kim Matus. I'm Sales Director and Digital Marketing Strategist at Real Magnet. I was actually a customer of Real Magnet before I joined their team, which is kind of fun. And in the next 15 or so minutes, I'm going to walk you through you get data from iMIS into Real Magnet by running your queries in iMIS and making them visible under the iMIS management section. So when you want groups that you can send to in Real Magnet, you're going to come here to create upload job, and you're going to see a list of all those queries that you've run in Real Magnet. You select the one that you want to map, you just double click it, and from here you're able to tell us how you want to map the data. You can keep it really simple and just do email address only, or you can get really complex. As you can see, we're able to pull up every iMIS field and map that into a Real Magnet field. So it all depends on how much of this data you plan to use in your email efforts. Are you going to do personalization very basically with, first name, last name, or basically any data fields that you want to be able to pull into a message ultimately, you're going to want to map here in Real Magnet. And as you can see up here, you've got the ability to save the map for a future use. So once you've got that set, you just click Create Schedule, and here's where you're going to tell Real Magnet, hey, I'm creating a brand new group with this query, or I'm adding it to an existing group. And you get to tell us, hey, I want this, please overwrite the records, or don't overwrite the records. And then you tell us how you want that upload to run. So do you want it to run right now? Do you want to set it up so that it runs on demand? So for example, when you guys are sending out your email message and you click send, do you want Real Magnet to know to automatically update those records in that moment so you don't have to worry about it? It's a great feature that a lot of folks are taking advantage of. Or do you want to schedule it? This is also really popular where you can say, hey, every day or every week, update those records from iMIS into these groups that I've created into Real Magnet. So once you've got the mapping set up, you've got your schedule set, you're going to find all those jobs under this tab, under the Upload Jobs area. And here's where you can edit from here. You can get the status to see, when was the last time it was updated, exactly how many records are in each of these groups. And on this final tab here under Manage Tracking is where you get to choose which metrics from Real Magnet you want brought back into that iMIS member record. So for some folks, they want tons of detail. They pretty much want iMIS to know everything about the engagement. For others, they say, you know what, Real Magnet's storing all of this data. I don't need iMIS to know all of these detailed bounce metrics. So you get to pick and choose that here, and that's all getting updated in real time. The other piece I wanted to show you is the other area in Real Magnet where those groups are going to show up, and that's going to be in the Contacts tab. So a couple of things to point out here. If by chance you've got any records that aren't in iMIS, say there's like this third-party list that you might email from time to time, or any other data that lives anywhere outside of iMIS, you're able to upload that into this area here via a simple CSV file. And it's also where in this grid you're going to find those groups that you just created from those iMIS queries. Searching if you want in Real Magnet on those groups, but I just wanted to sort of point that out at a very high level. So now let's get into some of the fun stuff. So now that our contacts are uploaded, we know who we're sending our emails to, it's time to create those emails. So our editor, this is brand new, state of the art. It was released last fall. We're getting tons of positive feedback from our customers. I personally have been in marketing for a long time, used a lot of different systems out there. There's nothing quite like this editor based on just the flexibility and the power that it allows you to do. So what we're looking at here is a message that's already been created, but I want to show you how easy it would be to just manipulate this for your own use, but also know that we've got a free template library that you can choose from as a starting point for your message. It's also very easy to just start from scratch and create this. So what we're looking at here, picture this. This is your canvas. This is your workspace. And over on the left, under Menu, is where you're going to ultimately go to preview the message once you're done with it, see how it looks. It's also where you're going to go to send it to yourself as an individual to test it, or to a group within your organization to test it. Under Zone, so picture these as your Lego blocks. These are your building blocks for this email. And these are all drag and droppable right into the interface. So a column section, for example. I'm looking at this and I say, you know what, I want to insert some columns under this main header. You get to choose however many columns you want. And it's also really very easy to resize these columns. So you're starting to get a picture of how flexible this is. Anytime you create a zone, it's very easy to copy them. You can drag them around. Beautiful, beautiful flexibility. Some of the other zones that you're going to find are your WYSIWYG zones. So once you've got your column sort of set, you say, okay, I want to drag some content into this zone. And from here, you can just straight up type. You can also copy and paste in from Word, and we're going to strip out all of that bad code while keeping the formatting that you might have set up in Word. And a lot of folks start their copy in Word. Anytime you are going to insert personalization fields, very easy to do. Insert first name or any field that you've got. When you're linking, we always ask you to take advantage of the integration that we have with Google Analytics, which allows you to track all of this traffic that you're ultimately going to get from your email onto your website. The image zone is something that's quite special that I want to show you. When you want to drag an image into your email, you're able to basically upload from your desktop, wherever you store your images. Just know that Real Magnet's got the capability to store as many images as you want. It's totally unlimited. And we've got an image resizer built right in it. There's a third-party tool called Pixlr. It allows you to resize images right within the platform without ever leaving the application, which is really neat, because usually we've got to wait for a graphics designer to resize our images, so that's a really neat feature. Some of the other features here are dynamic content. Allows you the ability to tailor your message to your different audiences. So if you're doing like a regional event and you want the people in the Northeast to see only the content that's specific to the Northeast, our dynamic content zone allows you to do that very easily. RSS, if any of you have a blog on your website or you're pulling in content from other people's blogs, this allows you to very easily do that. You can load the feed in advance. You get to select which articles you want, and then within 2 seconds, it's getting brought in. Some of the other neat things about this editor that I wanted to point out. What we're looking at right here, this headline, this image, this block of copy, and these social sharing zones, this gives you the chance to allow your recipients to share each individual article with their social networks. And it also allows you to post this content direct to your social channels. So I don't know if on Twitter you guys have ever noticed that, typically you've got your headline, you've got your shortened URL, and that's pretty much it. Well, we are now employing Twitter card technology that allows you to publish something much more dynamic. You're getting not only the headline and the shortened URL, but you're able to add an image. You get this lengthened description. So by using this feature, you're basically publishing your social content to Twitter and Facebook right from your email message. So it's a really neat way to save some time. You've also got the ability to create custom zones. So if you know for sure that you want your footer to always look a certain way, you can create these custom zones, and they're always there for you to drag in. Some of the other neat things that's happening here, if you notice, this is auto-saving every few seconds, so you never have to worry about losing your work. We've been in the HTML version so far. The other thing the system's going to automatically do, it's going to automatically create a text version of the email. And if you notice, it's coming through really clean. You might have, some quick delete, to clean up, but it's going to come through really clean. You save that, and the other version of the message that it's going to create for you is the mobile web version. And then you're able to edit the mobile file and edit the HTML file separately. So that's a really neat feature too. So that's our editor sort of in a nutshell. Once you're done creating your message and you start sending it to yourself to test, there's another test we're going to strongly recommend that you do, and it's called a deliverability test. This is going to do a couple of things for you. First, it's going to check the whole email to see if there are any broken links or any broken images. If there are broken links, it's going to tell you exactly which link is broken, and you're able to jump right in and edit that broken link right from the same screen. Excuse me while I just pull this right back up again. The other things it's going to do for you are it's going to run the email through 3 external spam filters. So, and if it finds any issues, it's going to tell you exactly what they are and how to fix them. And then probably the neatest part about it is going to be this part down here, where it's showing you exactly how your email is going to render across all of the different desktop, web, and mobile email clients. If you want to say, hey, how is this email going to look on an iPhone 4S, you're able to get a real rendering of that. And from here, you can drop into any of the other mobile clients out there. So that's a really neat feature that a lot of folks take advantage of. That's called our deliverability test. So you've done this, everything's looking good. Time to now send that email message out. So I wanted to just briefly show you a couple of the neat features when it comes to sending an email. The first thing is that you can create a profile in advance. So if you know that a lot of these data fields are going to be the same, you can create a profile in advance, and the system's going to automatically enter that in for you. And then you can also edit it from here. One of the neat features that a lot of folks take advantage of on the send page is Real Magnet's ability to let you do a quick tweet or a quick Facebook post about this entire message. So if you'd like, we can create a shortened URL to the web version of this email message. What it does is it pulls in the subject line, but you're able to modify that as you'd like. And then that way you are, again, leveraging this email message out to your social channels with just a click of a button, making it really, really easy to get more bang for your messaging buck, if you will. Down here is where you're able to, of course, schedule your emails as far in advance as you'd like. On the social side of things, if you do have social versions of this email, you can tell us, hey, you know what, post all social content with the email message at the same time. Or no, you know what, I'd rather scatter this out. Let me get more leverage out of this. Let these Facebook posts run, before I send my email or after I send my email. And you can, test things out and get really fun with some of this stuff. Down at the bottom is where you're going to choose the groups that you're sending this email to. So these would be those groups that you created in iMIS, and just know you can send to multiple groups, and we're going to automatically dedupe. You can also do a filter out. So if there's any group of contacts that you don't want to receive this message for sure, you hit filter out, and on the next page, we bring you to that list of groups again. You say, I don't want these folks to get this email. And what's neat is before the thing ever gets sent, we're going to show you exactly what you chose, how it's configured to make sure everything's set and looking good. So that's really sending the message in a nutshell. When it comes to tracking the message, this is a piece of the system that I was personally quite impressed with as a customer. The first thing it's going to do is if you send it to multiple groups, you can filter in and see how each of these groups perform sort of against each other, but otherwise it's going to default to showing you everybody that you sent this one message to. Taking advantage of our integration with Google Analytics is a very wise idea. If you guys are selling, tickets to your annual meeting, or even if you just want to track, free report downloads, basically any website activity that you want to track, if you've got that set up via a Google goal, we're able to tell you, this email resulted in 8 conversions. You got 8 sales from this email to your annual meeting. So that's really neat. Down here, we're going to show you all of those standard metrics on a message-by-message level. At any moment in our system, these little green icons, you can click in and get more details. This is going to give you a list of everybody who opened the email. From here, you can export that or add it to a group, or we can set up automated campaigns for you as well. For everybody who opens, send them this follow-up message. Another neat feature is, I like to call it sort of a poor man's heat map, if you will. We're going to show you visually where people are clicking in your newsletter. And again, the same idea. You click that button, you're brought to a list of everybody who clicked, and export it or upload it into a separate group. If you sent any social versions of those messages, you're going to get that tracking here. And again, because we're integrated with Google Analytics, we're also able to track your social posts. Down here, we're going to show you some of your open metrics. So what percentage of your opens are happening on a mobile versus a computer? As this number inches up closer to the 40, 50, 60% mark, you're going to want to be reconsidering how you're designing your messages to make sure they're as mobile friendly as possible. Down here, also a feature I was personally obsessed with as a customer, because we're giving you the ability to add custom domains to your deliverability report. So of course, we're going to tell you how you're doing in Gmail, Yahoo, AOL, all the big consumer ISPs, but you've got the ability to add custom domains. So your biggest members, you're sending a lot of email to a particular organization, add that domain here to see how your deliverability is doing. And deliverability is huge for us. We have a dedicated team, and if you ever see a problem, they're going to be there to help figure out why you're having a hard time getting delivered somewhere today. So that was a really another big factor for me. On the bounce metrics, something I was personally very obsessed with as a customer, because we get really granular into the bounce types, and we give you a chance to clean this up. So for example, I would look at it and say, hey, what the heck's going on here? I can pull up a list of all of those addresses, figure out what's wrong with them, and clean them up, and to make sure that, again, I'm doing, as a customer, I'm doing everything I can to improve my own deliverability. So that's how you track a message. I also wanted to show you a little bit about our reports tab here. In the reports tab, you're going to find about 65 or so standard reports, both on the email side of things and on the social side of things. So on email, we're able to tell you things like, hey, show me a list of everybody, all the highest open subject lines that we've ever had, or the highest open from fields, and we can do the same thing on clicks. What are the messages with the highest click-through rates? So the reports tab is really neat in that regard. We can get really super granular. Some of my favorite ones on the social side would be on Twitter, for example. We're able to pull up any date frame that you want. It's going to default to 30 days, but you can set that as far back as you'd like. And let's say I'm in here and I want to say, show me what tweet we've sent out in the past 30 days that's gotten the most number of clicks. So you can resort that, and you're able to see that very clearly for you. Help you guide your future marketing, if you will. And then finally, the last report I'd like to show you today is our comparative report, right? So we are, as marketers, communicators, we're so busy sending out messages to try to get our members to convert and show up at our events, and we're using a combination of email and social to send these messages. Well, which channels are actually working for us? Which channels are converting? So for Real Magnet, when we promoted our user group last year, we used a combination of all these channels. And you can see on Twitter, we got pretty good engagement in terms of clicks, almost as much as email. But when it came to conversions, to people who, were spending money with us, you can see that email was far and away the biggest winner here. But having this all in one place is what I found to be very helpful as a customer. Some of the other tabs up here that I didn't get a chance to get into, but I want you to know about, would be the surveys and the events tab. These are additional modules that you can use in our system. There's a big benefit to having those systems integrated into your email platform. Campaigns is where we can help you set up pretty much any automated campaign that you'd like to do, new member welcome series, re-engagement campaigns, renewal campaigns. So I think with that, I should probably pause because we're at time. And again, I'm so sorry about the delay in the beginning. Please do know that we're happy to schedule a private, customized demo for you. But I think now I should probably pause, turn it back to Ben, see if we got any questions that we should take here in the next few minutes.
Yeah, thank you, Kim. Can you hear me? I'm assuming my network connection is still down, so I just want to make sure my voice is coming over the phone without a problem now.
Yep, your audio is crystal clear.
Fantastic. We do have a few questions. The first question is, I work with financial services companies with very strong firewalls. Companies like Fidelity block email blasts, such as my email coming from Constant Contact. Will Real Magnet emails have better success going through?
That's something we can never guarantee. I wish I could be like, yes, but here's where we're going to be different from Constant Contact. That deliverability report that I showed you where you have the ability to add those custom domains, we can put fidelity.com in there and see exactly how we're doing. And if it appears that we're getting blocked, that's an example where you could talk to our deliverability guys, which at Constant Contact I assure you is absolutely not possible. There is no such thing. Talk to our guys, figure out what could be blocking you, and they're going to sort of quote you on how to get through to the IT team at Fidelity to get those messages delivered. And that's going to be the biggest difference between working with somebody like Real Magnet versus a Constant Contact. Again, as a customer, that was my main exact problem. And then they were really, really able to help me. And frankly, I did immediately get better deliverability. On my first send with Real Magnet, we did a test, which is something we can always happy to set up. We could set up, just a trial environment where we give you so much email for free, and just try it. Let's see how we do. And when I did that as a customer, in that first send, I actually saw like a 25% lift in my opens and clicks, which goes to show you how poor I was doing at eye contact. But I can't guarantee that everybody's going to have that level of success. But in general, we are able to see sort of that immediate lift. And again, the having access to the tracking and a team that you can talk to is what's going to make all the difference.
Great, thank you. Here we have a couple more, it looks like. Is it necessary to send test emails to users on different browsers, for example? Does Safari open differently than IE?
So that's where that deliverability test that I showed is going to come in handy. That's going to show you, let me see if I can get back there. Okay, Gmail on Explorer, Gmail on Firefox, example where you want to test it, but this tool is going to help do a lot of that testing for you. This is the
Great.
Litmus tool that we've integrated in. It's a beautiful thing.
Great. Okay, it looks like we have another question here. We've been using Informs for the past few years. How does Real Magnet compare?
So, I can only speak based on, some of the feedback that I get with folks that had used Informs and have made the switch or are considering it. I think the editor plays a big part of that. I did my best to hammer through the editor. I would love to be able to show all of you guys in more detail what the thing can do. But as you can see, it's got a lot of power, a lot of flexibility. The fact that you can resize columns, resize images without ever leaving the editor, I think that's one of the big ones. Other than that, I think on the social side of things, which I also didn't really even get a chance to get into, we've got an entire social dashboard that allows you to publish any content direct to your social channels from within the Real Magnet application. We can monitor all of the engagement that you're getting on the social side right in Real Magnet. I think that's an area of Real Magnet that's really well developed. We've spent a lot of time and R&D in that area, so I think that's another piece that tends to get people interested.
Fantastic. Okay, we do have one last question, and then we'll wrap up here. This is kind of the opposite. Is the Real Magnet pricing model still a per email address charge? My organization switched to Constant Contact because of the pricing model, flat rate per month based on number of contacts. So can you talk about the pricing model a little bit, Kim?
You bet. So, yes, Real Magnet prices, the solution that most people go for, it's a month-to-month, no annual contract, based on the total number of email messages that you send in a month. So we provide you with a tier that says, okay, if you send between 0 and 10,000 emails a month, it costs this. 10 to 20,000, it's this, and that can go all the way up to, you know, millions. You send between 2 million and 2.5 million, it's this. And what people like about that is, for an association, for example, when you're gearing up to promote for your annual meeting, those months there's a lot higher volume. And on other months, your volume might be lower. So they kind of like having, you know, paying only based on what they use. But the other option that some associations go for is just to buy the email in a block. So if you know over the course of the year you send, you know, 1 million emails, well, then you can just buy a block of 1 million emails. And the biggest benefit in Real Magnet is that that block's not going to expire. So you don't have to get rid of it in a year. You buy a block of 1 million emails and you use it until it's gone. It could take you 2 years. So that tends to be how we are priced now. So it's not based on a contact record. You can have as many contacts in there as you'd like. It is based on how many emails you send in a month or the block.
Great. Thank you, Kim. And I know we're about 5 minutes over. Again, I want to apologize to everyone for the technical difficulties. I will personally send the slide deck to everyone on the call, and hopefully we were able to recording completed, and we'll send that as well within 24 hours. As Kim mentioned, if you have questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. We can set up a demonstration, live demonstration or consultation with you. We also develop at ATS the webinars based upon feedback from customers. So if there are topics that you would like us to cover, we ask that you would send those through our website at www.atsol.org. Thank you, everyone, for participating. Thank you, Randy, Kim, and Stan, for presenting today. Everyone have a great day.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Kim.
Bye-bye.